The Foreign Earned Income Exclusion is one of the biggest tax hacks for US expats and nomads. This is the provision that allows you to exclude a certain amount of foreign earned income from US federal income taxes. For tax year 2025, that amount will be $130,000 and it's indexed for inflation, so it does tend to go up over time. But in order to be eligible for this really sweet tax break, you need to meet certain requirements set by the IRS. One way to claim this exclusion, especially if you're an expat living abroad in one place, is to pass what is called the Bona Fide Residence Test. In this video, we'll review exactly what the Bona Fide Residence Test is, as well as some common misconceptions. But before we do that, do us a solid, hit that like button. It really helps us out in the algorithm so we can get this content to more people who really need to see it. So we would really appreciate that. With that said, let's get to the video. The Bona Fide Residence Test is one of two IRS approved ways to qualify for the Foreign Earned Income Exclusion, and it can also qualify you for the foreign tax credit. Basically, the Bona Fide Residence Test determines if you truly live in a foreign country according to the IRS. To pass the test, a taxpayer must live in a foreign country for an uninterrupted period that includes an entire tax year. You must also show that you intend to make the foreign country your home for the foreseeable future and establish a residence in that place that you plan to keep for a long time. Now, this is much different than the physical presence test, which merely requires you to be present in a foreign country or countries for at least 330 full days during a 12-month period. We cover that in our other video on the physical presence test, so make sure you check that out. Link is in the video description. For the Bona Fide Residence Test, on the other hand, you must show that you intend to live in the foreign country permanently. This means that you have no plans to move back to the US in the near future, except maybe for short trips. One example would be, say you move to France, you rent an apartment, enroll your kids in a local school, and you get a local job. Another example, you relocate to Japan for a long-term work assignment. Maybe you're running a division in that country for 1 or 2 years. Here, your actions actually demonstrate that you intend to stay abroad for a long time and that you're not just visiting or planning a small month-long getaway. On the other hand, if you're a digital nomad, you're hopping from place to place, country to country, or you live in a foreign country for a short-term project, then you're likely not going to qualify for the Bona Fide Residence Test. Again, this test is more geared toward long-term expats who are living in one place. Now, if you plan to apply for the Foreign Earned Income Exclusion under the Bona Fide Residence Test, then you're going to need to keep really careful records. To prove your bona fide residence, you should keep documents handy, like a lease or a rental agreement. These show that you actually live in a foreign country and where you're living. Things like utility bills and bank statements can also be used to prove ties, and employment contracts, school records for your kids. These things can demonstrate your intent to remain for a year or more. Now, if you're looking to save on state income tax in addition to federal income tax, then you're going to need to transfer your domicile to a low-tax US state. Here at Savvy Nomad, we handle all the paperwork and coach you through the process to obtain a real residential address at a low cost. So make sure you check us out. Link is in the video description. And if you do decide to sign up, make sure you use the code YouTube for 15% off. If you enjoyed this video, you want more digital nomad tax tips, expat financial strategies, follow our channel. We also just launched a weekly newsletter. Link is in the video description if you want to get on the email list. And finally, again, if you didn't hit that like button already, make sure you do that. It helps us out in the algorithm and it costs you nothing. Until next time, safe travels and happy tax planning.